Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Manigandan, sir. We welcome Panjanadam, sir, to the session. Sir, please join the session. Rao sir. Dr. Manigandan sir will be felicitating PJ Rao sir now. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Prabhu to honor Dr. Panjanadhan, sir. Now, Dr. Karpaya ji will be honoring Dr. Panjanadhan, sir. Session will be handed over to Karpaya, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Bhattanarayan, sir, to take over the session. I request Bhattu Satyanarayan, sir, to take over the session.
Good afternoon to everyone. So let me first congratulate the organizers for organizing this a very eminent program where the faculty from the various parts of the country has come here, and now we are in the higher education or in the total in the education system, we are implementing the NEP 2020. Now it's the time for the teachers to go through the NEP 2020 documents, how we are implementing it, whether we are implementing it effectively or not, or in some states also it is not implemented, and some states this same policy is implemented with different names. So that is here in the Kerala what today in the vote of thanks he told that they adopted 4 years program with a different name, but the theme is same, only they are not including the Indian knowledge system. So the NEP 2020, that is already started in implementation in various forms, and the UUC has come out with various documents related to the implementation of the NEP 2020, under which this National Curriculum and Credit Framework for the UG programs was released in the month of December 2022. So when we are implementing, everyone has some doubts how to proceed, and everyone is expecting what kind of curriculum should be, what should be the framework. Everyone has some doubts, and everyone is expressing that is NEP 2020 is only going to sopranize the education. This some misinformation campaign is also going on, but here now we are living in a global village. When we are living in a global village, We need to integrate with every country. And whenever we go to other countries, every country should recognize our degree also. Our people, our students, after passing engineering, they are going to other countries for MS programs by writing TOEFL or JRE. But undergraduate programs which we are awarding degrees, if they want to go other countries for education, higher education, they don't recognize our degree. So there, because we are giving the 3-year degree certificate, there many countries are not recognized, particularly if anyone want to go to America or Australia like that, they don't recognize our degree. And also if you look at our existing, that is a undergraduate program before implementation of the NEP 2020, we know the structure that is total rigid. We have the student has no choice. If he opt one course like BSc, their combination is either botany, zoology, chemistry or mathematics, physics, chemistry. Different combinations and the subjects are equal and there is no flexibility. Everything is defined and student has no choice. Once he opt one degree, he has to stick on to that one. And there is no scope for the overall development of a student. So NEP 2020 is clearly mentioned about the multidisciplinary approach and flexibility, and student can exit and enter at any time. That system was not there in the policy which is implemented before the NEP 2020. So that is, if a person comes out of after first year, after second year, then there is no valid for his spending of that 1 year or 2 years time in the college or university. So the NEP is giving that flexibility, and also the NEP is 2020 also giving a flexibility with this in even ABC portal, that is Academic Bank of Credit, is also associated with this our NEP 2020, where the student can earn the credits from through online or open distance learning. The flexibility is given or blended mode, then that is credit to the ABC portal. And if a person gains a 120 credits or 160 credits, that is defined by the National Curriculum Framework, so then it can be awarded degree, 3 years or 4 years honor. So everything is, that flexibility is given by the NEP 2020. Now if you look at the NEP 2020 and then National Curriculum Framework, now which we are implementing today. So majority of the universities, majority of the state governments have implemented the NEP 2020. Either the students are in now either second year. The Karnataka is the first state to implement the NEP 2020, but the state government, after changing, again now they have appointed one committee and they wanted to implement some state education policy. So like this, the state governments are playing with the lives of the students. They are doing they want to do the politics with the lives of the students. As the faculty members, as the teachers, we should not bother about politics. The political parties may come and go, but the country forever. We, the nation builders, particularly that is the opportunity is in our hands, where we should work with integrity. Our aim is only the nation is first. We should build up the students to that level. So we need not bother about this one. And NEP, the UGC has given national credit, that is curriculum framework. They give the structure, number of credits they define, but what is content, that is left to the universities. That is in the hands of the teachers. What kind of curriculum should be framed? Here, clearly defined what are the credits, what kind of curriculum should be taught to the students. Here in the UG, major, minor, multidisciplinary subject, ability enhancer subject, the skill enhancer subject, and value-based subject. So like this clearly defined. So one is to complete, that is complete 50% of the major to award the degree, whether it is a 3-year degree or 4-year degree. Of 3 years, it will be awarded as a bachelor degree, and there the number of credits mentioned are 120. Out of 120, one has to gain 60 credits in the major subject. That is the usage clear. Per major, per 3 years degree, 60 credits. If it is a 4 years honors, that is 80 credits. That is to award the honor degree, total number of credits should be 160. So 50% means 80 credits, clearly defined. And minor subject, that is 24 per 3-year degree and 32 4 years honors program. And also multidisciplinary subject, 9 credits for both 3 years degree and also honors degree. And ability enhanced course, 8 credits, whether it is 3 years or 4 years honors degree. And similarly, skill enhanced course, that is 9 credits for both 3 years degree and 4 years honors degree. And value added course, that is 6 to 8 credits, either 3 or 4. And then for 4-year degrees there is a internship and then project of 12 credits. So this is the number of credits are defined well by the National Credit Framework. So similarly, if a person after completion 1 year, if he stops, if he want to exist, now they can award undergraduate certificate. After 2 years, undergraduate diploma. After 3 years, that is undergraduate certificate, like BA or BSc. If completes 4 years, then honors degree, there also based on the type of subjects, with research, without research. That also clearly defined by the National Curriculum Framework. Now that is available in the UC website. Every teacher should go through the document. Even if you search through Google, you can find it. Even the NEP 2020 document also, many teachers have not gone through it, but everyone has to go through it. What is particularly first this NEP document which is submitted by the Kasturangan committee, about 450 pages. One has to go through this very clear document that very clearly defines what is the role of the education. Everything, higher education, primary education, we the teachers, particularly in the universities and colleges, we have the plenty of time. At least everyone has to go through the documents. So whatever the documents, because we are in the transition period, we are in the position to implement. This is the first time we are implementing, that opportunity has come to us. So now we are in this advanced position. Now everyone should have this knowledge. So everyone has to go through the documents which are released by the UC from time to time. Even they issued the national curriculum, the skill development, everything that time to time they develop, that is with the experts. The curriculum framework is designed and everything is released by the UC. That is only giving the framework. Curriculum framework, only they give the structure. The content, it is our duty. So there is, now in the existing, that is existing scheme, that is before NEP 2020, the student doesn't have any exposure to the other subjects. Under multidisciplinary, the choice is given. So the student, we are introducing the bunch of subjects under multidisciplinary with 3 credits each per semester, total 9 credits. So that is each first semester, second semester, third semester. So the student has this option. He can choose any subject if he wants. That flexibility is given by the NEP 2020. That was not there in the earlier system. So the constitutional values or environment, like this, different subjects we can offer. The student can opt anything. So therefore, he can expose, and then that flexibility is given by the NEP 2020 and enhanced. That is ability enhanced course, language. It need not be English. Any language the student has the option to take, to develop. And skill, whatever skill is required. So he has to gain some skill out of the, that is so far we are thinking that the universities are the only knowledge creating centers. But knowledge and skill both are important for a person to get some kind of employability for critical thinking. So skill is also very much important. Now the student can learn the skill. When he come out with the degree, he will have the knowledge as well as the skill. That flexibility is given. Now that is a must. Skill has to taught in the curriculum. Value added, that is nowadays we are forgetting about the morals, ethics, values. That's why now that is also one of the, that is a 6 to 8 credits has to offer to the student. He can have the option, whatever we are opt, he can choose as per his choice. That flexibility is given. And in the minor subject also, so one can, if a 12 per degree, if he is opt with the 12, then the degree will be awarded with his major subject, mentioning the subject, suppose if it is a chemistry, and the minor is a mathematics, that is a BSc chemistry with minor mathematics. One has to earn like this. And then 12 vocational subject. So that is, he has to gain the knowledge on the vocational education also. That is also part of our degree program. But we teachers, this can be implemented very effectively if the teachers concentrate more on the academics. Our duty is not complete if you only teach and leave the university or college. We have to think, we have to spend a lot of time, what kind of skills can be taught to the students. And we have to design, even in every college, the flexibility is given to the college, and university will see what kind of subject is taught. Only they see the number of credits earned by the student, 120 or 160. If 160 are earned in 4 years, he will be honored, awarded the honors degree. And all the marks which are, credits which are obtained by the student will be credited to the ABC portal, where that is like our bank account. The ABC portal that maintains the number of credits gained by a student. And if he gains 120, he will be awarded degree program. So there, the flexibility is given for the even college, whether you are autonomous or non-autonomous, or in the university. So therefore, you have to develop the skills. What kind of skills you can teach to the student, and what of the value-added courses, even if they can opt through the NPTEL or SWAYAM, whatever is offered by online, for every, that is subject that is ever minor or major, there the flexibility is given. 40% you can gain from the outside. Need not be in the same institution. From other institution also you can gain it, or through open learning or mix the blended mode. Similarly, internship also can be carried out anywhere, need not be in the college where he is studying. So that flexibility is given. So with this, these are the flexibilities given by the NEP 2020 document, that is the National Curriculum and Framework for undergraduate programs. So now we have the panel members here, Professor B.J. Raoji, the Vice Chancellor of Hyderabad Central University. So he will deliver about this National Credit Framework.
Namaste to all of you. I want to applaud ABRSM and Theta and UVAS for bringing all of us together today on some very important matters. And the matters have to do with not us, but the nation. It is that context. And before I go into the real content of what I have to say, I want to set the background a little bit so that we understand the importance of what we are discussing. India, although fifth largest economy, we are still not in the knowledge race. About 70% of our population live on the income of about 10 to 20,000 rupees per month, and equal percentage of people have not even gone to the colleges. They are only high schools, maybe school or high school level. Bharat, that was the leader of the world, global leader, cannot afford to be in this kind of stage where we do not create knowledge. We should be creating knowledge. We have been excessively dependent on knowledge from others, especially in the recent past, few hundreds of years. Major discoveries have not happened in India in the last 100 to 200 years. Very bright people were born in India, but major discoveries, as many as India should have done, has not done. Obviously, Bharat has gone into a bottleneck. That we realized after 75 years of our independence. That is another tragedy bottleneck. We did not realize it soon after becoming independent. We got a delay. Better late than never. Now we are. The global requirements also require that we show up our preeminence. It's very important. So these are the thought processes that went behind to put together a very important document called National Education Policy. I request all of you to actually read the document. It's a very well drafted document. It's highly readable. Associated with that document came two important documents little later. National Curriculum Framework and National Credit Framework. These are very important associated documents to implement NEP. If NEP is the soul, this is the body and skeleton. National Curriculum Framework as well as the National Credit Framework. These two documents are also fairly voluminous, but very, very interesting to read. A lot of thought processes have gone into this to achieve three things for the country. Three most important things that we lost in the first 70 years of our independence. What are those three important things? Those three important things are we need to make people knowledgeable, not simply degree holders. Knowledgeable. Not simply knowledgeable, skilled people who can deliver products, who can deliver processes, who can deliver ideas. Skill. Third, not just knowledgeable and deliver skill, but also think holistically. We don't want toxic specialists. We want people who are holistic. These were the three important, lofty goals that were embedded in these documents. So at the end of the document, who are the elephants in the room? There is one big elephant in the room. That big elephant in the room is teacher. We are all pre-NEP teachers. Let me say so. Pre-NEP teacher has to transform himself or herself into post-NEP teacher. Because post-NEP requirements are very, very different from pre-NEP requirements. In pre-NEP, we simply used to make our students rote learn, and give a piece of paper as a degree and send him away, more or less. But now we don't want to do that. So we need teachers who can actually make the students learn. And the teacher must understand what is the learning outcome. Now for the first time we are describing what is the learning outcome. Learning outcome is quantified. And that quantification leads to credit framework. And learning outcome is not simply by reading books and learning. Learning also happens by vocational training. Look at the challenges. So you have to give credits to vocational training also. Students learn skills, very important skills. How do you quantify them? How do you give credits to those skills? Do you give 2 credits, 3 credits? And at what level? Is it 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level? At what level? So these were the real challenges which were addressed in National Credit Framework. So credit framework is a major discovery in Indian education system where credits are quantified based on learning and skills. There are ways to do it. And how do you do it? You have to envisage what is the learning outcome. If I am teaching this student this particular course at this particular vocational training, how much that student must learn and what should the student learn? I should be able to assess as a teacher. And all those equivalences, this is a beautiful word, equivalences, were mapped in the credit framework document across 100 level course, 200 level course, 300 level course, 400 level course. This is 4-year UG program. You start with 100 level course. And then you give credit based on the outcome in these different levels and set up equivalences for vocational as well as the classroom driven courses. This is actually a major conceptual challenge. I do not know how they solved it, but they have solved it. So now we have an equivalence map where the student would get 3 credit course in a vocational course and can go on to do something else using those 3 credits. A student who is in vocational course is not permanently trapped in vocational course. He can come out of it and do a disciplinary course also. So the students can go back and forth between vocational courses and non-vocational main disciplinary courses. This, I think, is the most beautiful outcome of NEP and National Credit Framework. You have liberated the student. This is also so between curricular coursework and extracurricular courses. What are the extracurricular courses? Maybe music, maybe football and cricket, why not? Right? Maybe long jump. These are all extracurricular courses where the students show a lot of interest, spend time, acquire skills, you quantify. You give credits. So ultimately what you have done is you have released the entire field to the student for his or her learning, and hopefully you have created the teachers who can assess that student. I'm very doubtful on that. So this is a zone where student essentially learns and becomes skillful based on his or her own interests. This is the overall philosophy. And what is the big outcome of this? When the student learns and performs, acquires skills on his or her own interests, the supposition is that student would do deep learning. This is very true. When the student does it on his own or her own, he or she will do deep learning. He would become a better artist. He would become a better player. He would become a better musician and a better physicist. So that liberation has been brought in NEP. That I think is the most beautiful liberation. And that is the liberation we used to have thousands of years ago. That we brought it back now. Otherwise, what was the education? We were very linear. I chose some combination of subjects in 12th standard. My life is stuck with that. So, these are the basic facts of NEP credit framework document. Now I'll talk a little bit about national curriculum document, national curriculum framework. Typically, when we talk about curriculum, it is equivalent to syllabus and syllabus contents. All of us know that. Here, curriculum is not just the syllabus, not just the syllabus content. It is learning the process, not just the content. The student, the child will see this flower when he or she is at the age of 3. The child will learn about the pattern, appreciate the pattern. The child will learn about the color of the flower. This is part of curriculum. Now, music appreciates the difference between one raga versus the other raga. That is part of curriculum. So it is intimately linked with the learning process now. It is not just dry content which is written in a book. So curriculum has been given a much broader framework, much broader meaning. In fact, if you go and read the definition, it's a very beautiful definition. Now, why do we talk too much about that curriculum? Because curriculum is the one that will tell us what is to be taught to the child at what age. Very important, and it should be done progressively. So in the school curriculum framework, a big document, came out in October 2022, I think, draft. In that, the model has been changed from 10+2, we are all product of 10+2. Model has been changed from 10+2 to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, total being 12. Total being more than 12. Where does that more than 12 come from? More than 12 comes from the fact that we realize the child has to be primed for education, not simply pushing into the school, but in a playful manner. The child should start learning whatever he or she wants to learn in a playful manner. So education must be a joy to the child. Therefore, first 3 years are given like that. In first 5 years, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, in the first 5-year segment, first 3 years is just a playful learning. There is no serious content given. The child enters into education playfully, just to have joy. And then next 2 years in the 5-year segment is actually first standard and second standard. So therefore, the learning process beginning itself is very different. In a typical school system, we just push the child to the school, by and large, largely. I'm not talking about fancy schools which have all kinds of flexibility, but typically the child starts learning in a school, in the older method where he or she is pushed into the school. Reluctantly the child goes, cries, doesn't start learning. Very reluctant student. I was a very, very reluctant student in my primary school. I used to run away from school. I'd never liked school. But if you start learning playfully, I think the student would start liking education much more intimately. So that is a major difference. And then you have another 3 years, which is third standard, fourth standard, fifth standard. Another 3 years, sixth, seventh, eighth. And the last 4 years is 9, 10, 11, 12, the heavy duty segment. But the heavy duty segment has been made very soft. There is no that one board exam. We used to have one board exam, right, in 12th standard. One board exam in 10th standard, no. No one board. It is no life and death situation anymore. You could have multiple board exams, large number of board exams. That's a big change. Other big change is there is no big separation between hard science and soft science and arts and social sciences. There is no big separation. You could have combinations from social sciences, humanities, and science. If you want to become an engineer, you can have hard science subjects, but compulsorily you have to take other subjects also. Lot of flexibility is built into it. And very important, interdisciplinary courses are injected. Environmental sciences, biodiversity, human ethics, aesthetics, music, sports, extracurricular. So there is a potpourri of combination of subjects which will not only give you knowledge, content, skill, but also refine your mind. Because NEP says we need citizens who are enlightened, not just educated. They should also be enlightened. So in the schooling system, there is enough content so that the mind can be refined. The child will start appreciating the flower. The child start paying attention to raga, paintings. So all these interesting curricular details are present now in new curriculum framework. It is very important for all of us to read the document. I'm not here to describe all the details. It's not even possible in this short time. And the details have to be shown and displayed. You can't simply orally say, because there is a logic to what they have said. So, in the absence of that, I would request all of you to please go through each page. As a teacher, it is my responsibility to read these documents every page and try to understand the logic of it. This is important. In the undergraduate curriculum framework, in addition to multidisciplinarity, several courses that Bhattu Satyanarayana Garu mentioned, several courses actually form part of multidisciplinarity. There is one more big addition, which was not there earlier. That is internships. You actually have to go and do experiential learning. You can do any amount of book reading. Unless you do some experiential learning, you will not get it. You will not get the context of that learning. So therefore, setting up internships in multiple areas for the students so that they can actually go and do hands-on experience. It may be in science, it may be in technology, it may even be in social sciences and humanities. There are so many projects they can actually do hands-on. That, I think, is the most important part of UG curriculum framework, where you actually earn fair amount of credits in internship training. There is an algorithm, there is a map that defines how many credits you have to get for a certificate, 1 year certificate, 2 year diploma, 3 year full course. Everything is numerically worked out. You can go and look it up. And all these numerical details you can put it in a bank. You can move around from one institute to the other institutes based on your interests. Ultimately, when you accumulate enough credits, you get a certificate or a diploma or a degree, etc., etc. So there is tremendous flexibility in this pattern. This is all basic details, and I also gave you what is the real driver of this whole big change. So the real driver is very clear, that we need to create citizens who know knowledge, who can create knowledge on their own. They should be deep learners. And they should simply not be peripheral in their skills. Go much deeper. There is one criticism of NEP. I must tell you that. That one criticism is in 4-year UG program, the student doesn't go deep enough. The student doesn't have enough time to study a subject deep enough. Let's say I'm specializing in chemistry honors BSc. Do I get enough time to actually go into the depth of chemistry, get a feel for it, so that I'm ready for the research? That is still an open question. Unless teachers do extremely well, you cannot prepare a student who is extremely deep in chemistry to do PhD in chemistry soon after 4 years. This is one criticism that some people do in a genuine manner. It's a genuine criticism. It only suggests that the model is good, but it is also challenging. We must create teachers who are committed so that the teacher can prepare a student who is thoroughly trained as a BSc honors in chemistry, that he can go and do very good quality PhD program soon after 4 years. These are some of the challenges. And this challenge holds true for other subjects also. So, the devil actually is in the details. I'm not going to go into all the details. I just gave you the basic contour of it. Two most important challenges in this opportunity that we have created is, we have to create extremely well-trained, extremely motivated, and extremely committed teachers for this whole exercise to succeed. Because this business of doing education in NEP, National Credit Framework, National Curriculum Framework, is a serious business. It is not the old business. So therefore, we need teachers who are extremely well committed to this model of teaching, so that you assess the student that they are learning, their learning outcome is up to the mark, that they are not slipping, etc., etc. My request to all the teachers here, most of you are teachers, that you please retransform yourself to NEP model now and generate students who are knowledge creators, not knowledge dependents. You have to spend a lot of quality time in the classroom and outside the classroom. In fact, more outside the classroom, so that you can prepare yourself. We do not have enough teachers for several multidisciplinary subjects. For example, chemical biology, if I want to teach, I don't have too many teachers in the country who teaches chemical biology very, very well. Similarly, we don't have too many teachers who are good in assessing, training and assessing vocational courses. Where are the teachers? So these are important bottlenecks that we must realize. Where are the books that students can read to learn music? You have to read also. Typically, Indian system has not created good books. We have not created good books for our students in any subject actually. We hardly have any good books, very interestingly readable books in undergraduate courses. So in that sense, our teacher community has failed miserably in creating good resource material for our students. Most of our students depend on Western books. All of us have read very good Western books because we didn't have Indian books. This is the time for us to create good quality Indian books that our students can learn. Another important challenge. For a good reason, NEP as well as the curriculum framework, credit framework encourages first 5 years of child's education to be done in mother tongue. It's a very important idea. There is enough data to prove that if a child learns first bearings in his or her mother tongue, the learning is deeper. Learning is more aggressive, not aggressive, more genuine. Later you can pick up English language and go wherever you want to. But first seeding must happen in the native language. We do not have good native language books. If the student wants to learn higher education also in the native language, we need resource material. There are a lot of students in the country who are bright, but are hit by English barrier. We need to liberate them. Therefore, we need to actually set up higher education also in Indian languages, which is also happening now. But a lot of books are required. Teachers are required who can speak in that language and teach. So, just to summarize, this model of NEP, curriculum framework, credit framework is beautiful. It's required. This will generate real liberation among the students who want to learn. Rote learning is done away with. Good. But there are several challenges that all of us to deal with. As teachers, we have to generate committed teachers in us, knowledgeable teachers in us. We have to write good books. We have to write good resource materials in terms of guides, in terms of enough supplementary material that students need, not just the textbooks. So all these work has to happen. And there is another important component that I must emphasize, that learning is not just learning in a context. Learning must be done in Bharat, in Bharatiya context, within the context of Bharatiyata, which is called Indian knowledge system. This Indian knowledge system, Indian value system, Indian culture system importance pervades the entire educational ladder, from school to high school and higher education. This is the primary requirement for us to bring in, so that we get out of that Macaulay mindset. It's very important. But at the same time, where are the teachers who can actually authentically teach Indian knowledge system in different frameworks? Where are the teachers? We have to generate that. So you see, there are so many interesting challenges that we have to solve. I am not saying, I am not painting a negative picture. I am only saying we have to catch the bull by the horn. Only then we can move forward. Right? It will become a robust learning system for the system for Bharat. So, Indian knowledge system is a very rich reservoir of knowledge and concepts. Firstly, we have not untapped them. Secondly, most of us have not read those resource materials, because most of the resource material is in Sanskrit. You have not translated them. We have to bring them to the level of children, another challenge. So please go through all these challenges in your mind. It's very important. And come up with each of these challenges can be solved if we put our head to it, if we put our mission to it. We can do it. But we have to decide to do it. All of us have to contribute 200% of ours. There is an integrated teachers training program. A very large number of teachers are getting trained now. It's happening at a large scale. That's a good sign. So we should keep doing it, and internally we should decide, I have to do it. That is the way it happens. You can go through any number of training programs, that unless you decide to do it, it will not happen. So some of these challenges are such challenges that you should decide to do it in your own domain very, very well, and generate an ecosystem where people can come together and do it. So I gave you a glimpse of what the whole thing is all about in a manner that we can all understand and appreciate. I also pointed out the challenges, because generally challenges are not pointed out. Doing good education is not simply a celebration. It is a challenge. So let us stare at the challenges also and do it. And then all this, to make it much more inclusive, we must make all these compatible with distance learning, online mode or hybrid mode, etc., etc. Because we should be able to reach every door of the family in this country. Like you are able to spend UPI money in seconds. You can transfer money from one bank to the other within seconds. We should be able to transfer knowledge from one door to the other door at no cost. Only then we will achieve full high literacy in the country. There are too many barriers even now. Books are not inexpensive. Most contents are not easily available online. There are copyright violations. All kinds of things are there. So we must generate enough resource material in physical form as well as in digital form so that we create an ecosystem in the country, an educational ecosystem in the country that we can use and reach every remote corner of the country. We need to do it within maybe 4 or 5 years. Then I think education, good quality education will happen at a scale. If you do it at limited scale, it's no use.
Right teachers. So if these three are absent, national curriculum framework is not there, NEP implementation is not there. But national curriculum framework focuses on, for example, creativity. The old method of pedagogy if we use as a teacher, we remember when I was a student, my math teacher used to teach in 8th standard. This building was constructed with the help of 500 people in 500 days. If the same building is to be constructed with the help of 1,000 people, how many days it will take? Something in 2,000. Some days we worked out. They gave pass, we came out. Now children are not like that. They are asking, math teacher, this is an unwanted question. Already when 500 people have constructed this building, why should we again concern? Now the student is creative. Now teacher is in trouble. The teacher, because teacher says, this is how my teacher taught. This is how my teacher taught. That is to be replaced. That's what Honorable Vice Chancellor has told. That's what NEP says. That's what National Curriculum Framework says. For students, even this during Corona period, WhatsApp messages criticizing teachers came. Because teacher is somewhere, student is somewhere, LKG teacher is telling, tell A, B, C, D, tell. From that side, 3 years old girl says, why teacher, you don't know ABCD? So you can't do it in the regular class. This is an online class. Teacher cannot do anything with the child. So children are more creative. Suitable pedagogy. Suitable. Still we do this lecture method. There are 100, just to type in your mobile, you can see 150 methods minimum. We can teach through dance. We can teach through drama. We can teach through games. We can teach through laboratories. We can teach through tour. We can teach through games. We can teach through quiz. We can teach through debate. We can teach through quiz. 150 methods are there. Bharatiya system had in Gurukula system all these things. At least we should revive them. So the best teacher, we should train ourselves. That is focused in to the topic. The session topic is National Curriculum Framework. How, though it is designed mostly for school children, how unleashing this potential for higher education. Such children, when they come to higher education, if we manage a traditional method, but our school teachers, they have gone for this method, we cannot even conduct classes for one day. So we also should go along with them, NCF. So where, in order to provide best education, this pedagogy, I remember, see how student, I did Bachelor of Education course. I went to a school, small school, village school. A teacher, a small child is asking in a Tamil medium school, teacher, what is kadal? What is kadal? What is samudra? What is ocean? Now teachers can do this one. Tuck, this is samudra. One more tuck, even water may come today. But in those days, the teacher is just 12th standard qualified diploma teacher. She looked at me. I went with the MSc Biology and B.Ed. I looked backside because I didn't know. I don't know how to teach what is cuddle to a child. Then one student came. He filled, small boy, he filled water in a vessel. Then he filled water in a big vessel. Then he filled water in a very big vessel after afternoon meal, white color, big size. Then he is explaining to that papa, small child, see, everywhere water in the vessel, water, 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 you are imagining? Yes. You are seeing the bank? Yes. Forget the bank. Water, water, water. Yes, Anna, yes, Anna, yes, Anna. That is cuddle. That is cuddle. See, Vallavanukku pullu maayidam. With the available old vessels, 7 years, 8 years old boy, with teacher, and I am a bigger teacher than that girl. The teacher who is working in the school is only school educated plus a diploma educated. I have master's degree. Immediately I am not able to think how to, in a village setup, how to make. I don't get any idea. But a boy, how creative he is in a village, and he was able to explain, at least to visualize for a child of 3-4 years, what is kadal, what is samudra, what is ocean. So such a type of education that should be given, for which National Curriculum Framework has given lot of avenues. Again, implementation of NEP, excellent syllabus, including credits for the syllabus books and contents, and for the syllabus books and contents, suitable teachers with a suitable pedagogies. This is NCF, National Curriculum Framework. And the holistic approach, NEP, such a, not only syllabus completion, holistic, man-making. That is the reason morning, most respected Kumarasamy sir told, 72% of criminals, killing others, snatching this, putting bombs, 72 are graduates, some of them are gold medals. But we don't produce them. We don't have in the syllabus. If you complete only syllabus, you don't do holistic approach, if you don't make man, then naturally this will be what he told this morning. And the UTBC, one police officer says, when I was 25 years, new police officers, I used to catch 10 criminals, did this one, did this one, did this one. No one used to be even school dropout, illiterates. But today also I am catching 10 criminals. I am 55 years old now, big police officer catching 10 criminals. All the 10 are graduates. But we don't produce, it is not in our syllabus. For your information, even my own cell phone somebody took in front of me. It is there in Janagaran, you can see former registrar of Annamalai University, lost his cell phone talking, then somebody took like that. It happened, it is there in the newspaper, you can see. We don't teach how to snatch a cell phone. But we become responsible. If we don't make a full-fledged man, we become responsible. So, that pedagogy side, not only this 150, as rightly Honorable Vice Chancellor told, near Madurai, experiential learning, near Madurai, many times a teacher was teaching about the aeroplane and the tree. Every time he asked 10 more questions about the tree, children are writing in the school, Tamil medium school, they write 5 pages. But about the aeroplane, same amount of teaching he did, they don't write even 4 lines. He asked why? I am same teacher, I am both the same way I am explaining. Then the boy told, sir, maram, tree, we are seeing every day. Aeroplane, we have never seen. Now, see the newspaper, that teacher, school teacher, never he went in aeroplane. Hard earned school teacher's money, how much will be there? For his wife and child, he did not purchase an aeroplane ticket, but he purchased 23 tickets for 8th standard children near Madurai only. 23 children he took from Madurai to Chennai in aeroplane, return Pandian Express. He does not have money for return Pandian Express. When again the same question was asked, 10 mark 2 page. Everybody, all boys are writing 25 pages. What is aeroplane, what is take-off, what these women inside they give to eat, to drink, who is a pilot, what is his salary, what is security, what is luggage, what is baggage, all those things non-stop 25 pages, experiential learning, Honorable Vice Chancellor told. Experiential learning. when teacher was theoretically talking like this, talking, as he wrote about a tree, maram, he was not able to write about aeroplane. When once he traveled in aeroplane, they write better than teachers. So experiential learning, NEP implications, National Curriculum Framework. NEP is a policy. How to implement it, National Curriculum Framework. In the National Curriculum Framework, so many components. 3 important components, syllabus. For the syllabus, material, content, book, e-book or hard copy book. How the book should be reach people? Teacher. Not simply teacher, teacher with creativity, with 150, more than 150 pedagogies. More than 150 pedagogies. So in that way only, we can really take the education to the people. Otherwise, even today, you see, you just to go on count in our own homes. You go on count. I did MSc Zoology. 34 years I was a professor of business administration. 34 years I was a professor of administration. The reason many of us don't work in core area. Today you go and see. Many of us, BA history, he is in a software company. BA history is in software company. MSc mathematics is driver. In many places you can see, in core area they don't work. That is the reason Honorable Vice Chancellor, they spoke about NEP and NC that should be taken to the where he is interested. Where she is interested should be taken. Last 2 minutes, people are staring at me, and even without that education, for the past 1 week it is, in WhatsApp it is coming in India, one man, 1,000 acre, he has planted trees and he has made a forest. It is there in your WhatsApp, you can see, UTPC. Single man, without help of anybody, single man. So this talking education should go, doing education should come, for which is the formula, guidelines, activities, challenges, how to overcome. All these things are as right, then it will be a problem. So therefore, friends, in order to have problem solving or creativity or holistic method, for all those things, National Curriculum Framework has given excellent, it needs a lot of time to sit and read, excellent ideas, and ultimately it is in the minds of teachers and students, so that the last point is, see that we want our GER is 30%. Our gross enrollment ratio is 30% in the country, approximately. But we want to make it 50% in another 15 years or 10 years. This is target. But at the same time, see, many colleges and universities, they don't have full strength of students. One side you want to increase higher education, many departments are closed, many colleges are closed, many colleges have become marriage halls throughout the country, but we want to increase GER, 50%. That means all around 55,000 higher education institutions, all seats should be filled. Only then we can go for achieving 50%. But another side, many colleges are closed, many departments are closed. In many departments, students don't get admission. Something is there that NCF will solve the problem. National Curriculum Framework will solve the problem. In the lighter sense, one of the heads of the departments told in one of the colleges, I asked him, what is this? You are keeping 4 or 5 degrees. I don't know, sir, leave it, sir. Is it your degrees? No, leave it, sir. I should leave it. Again I asked, oh, what is this? Also, we gave degrees from our college. The students, they are keeping for the past 2 years. Apply, no reply. So instead of I keep, you keep it, they have sent it back to me. I am keeping it. So I felt very bad. Why should I ask this question repeatedly? So unless the degrees are useful to them, unless they develop skills, of course, and as they rightly told, wrote, methodology will be there, those degrees, diplomas will be there. So, as I told, I wanted to make it short. I have made it. Once again, I take this opportunity to sincerely thank on behalf of all of us organizers. It's a very good opportunity for us to meet, eat, discuss, and out next day. Thank you very much. Best wishes. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now we invite Professor Channaveer to provide the concluding remarks for this technical session.
Honorable Chairperson, Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan sir, Vice Chancellor of our Central University of Karnataka, Professor B.J. Rao sir, Professor Panchanatham. It's really a great opportunity given to me to give concluding remarks by ABRSM, Theta and UVS. Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan sir gave total framework of NEP, National Credit Framework and National Curriculum Framework, within which the whole deliberation was taken up to the next level by Professor B.J. Rao sir and Professor Panchanatham sir. Bhattu Satyanarayan sir gave the proportion of major, minor, MDC, skill enhancement courses, value-added courses and all, and how much the students have to learn to achieve learning outcome in their major subjects, minor subjects and multidisciplinary subjects, skill enhancement and value-added courses. So it made the NEP and National Curriculum Framework and National Credit Framework components very, very clear to all of us, and it could set a good context to bring very good integration through which we should look at NEP, not in exclusion, but in integration of NEP with National Curriculum Framework and National Credit Framework. Professor B.J. Rao sir gave very intensive components of NEP, National Curriculum Framework and National Credit Framework. Most importantly, he looked at how we need to focus more on experiential learning and deep learning aspects and different components, how we can make, there are many challenges for the teachers in higher education institutions. First, we need to transform ourselves to be capable to deliver what is expected, the learning outcome as expected from the NEP, National Curricular Framework and National Credit Framework. How we can bring integration between learning outcome, then credit framework and then vocational education. So that gave a very good clarity for the teachers, all of us. And lastly, Panchanatham sir, very interesting way of presenting, mostly focusing on pedagogy. Since he was Vice Chancellor of Teacher Education University, he has very good experiences dealing with the children. I think we are saved, we are teaching at higher education institutions so that we don't get such kind of questions from children because they passed through that stage. But experiential learning is very, very interesting, what sir gave. I think the best way to save ourselves, instead of engaging the children, engage the children to engage themselves so that we will be saved from such kind of very critical questions. But how children are creative, how students are creative, that we need to understand that reality and design our the approaches in a pedagogy so that children become more involved in experiential learning to achieve the learning outcome. See, the holistic way of achieving from the NEP and National Curriculum Framework and National Credit Framework has been contributed by this deliberation under the chairmanship of Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan sir. It was a very good learning for all of us. Thank you very much.